the MOBC, my own boxing community. I want to say happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is a Thanksgiving special, and we're just going to talk boxing. Um, I want to talk about a few things in boxing, and I want to put it all in one video. I didn't want to. I could have easily made a video separating everything, and then if I could just put it in one video, say my piece, and I could just get it over with. You know what I mean? And that's how I'm doing that. So it's kind of funny to me how back in the days, right? So like when um when Tyson Fury became the world champion, heavyweight champion, by defeating Vladimir Klitschko, um, there was a lot of boxing fans now putting Tyson Fury in a ATG category without even having an ATG resume. And even now, he doesn't have an ATG resume, in my opinion. Um, but it's not his accomplishments what I want to get at, because in my opinion, and it's just me, it's all subjective. You could have Tyson Fury wherever you want him to be. I mean, if he's in your top 10 best heavyweights of all time, and if he's in your top 15 best heavyweights of all time, so be it. You are entitled to have that opinion, and I am entitled to have my opinion. Now, one of the main things about Tyson Fury is that it wasn't, and I'm not talking about his accomplishments. We're talking about the fantasy fight. Fantasy fight between Tyson Fury and any heavyweight who's fought before him. And I don't care what heavyweight. It could be any heavyweight. It could be the smaller, undersized heavyweights. The Jack Dempseys, the Gene Tunneys, all of Jack Johnson, right? All of these, Joe Louis, right? All of these undersized, well, today they would be undersized heavyweights. All of these undersized heavyweights, and we could go on into the 60s and the 70s. Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton, George Foreman. We could get into the 80s, the Michael Spinks, the Larry Holmes, the Mike Tysons. We could get into the 90s, Lennox Lewis, the Holyfield, the David Tua, the Ike Iyabuchi. We could go on. And then we could go in the Klitschko era. And he had already beat Vladimir Klitschko. It was a past prime Vladimir Klitschko, but he beat him. So that's fine. It was one of the most boring fights in boxing, in heavyweight boxing history. Like that fight, you can't even go back to that fight for entertainment purposes. Not like Holyfield and Riddick Bowe, Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali. Not like those fights, Razor Ruddock and Mike Tyson. I'm talking about one of the most boring fights ever. And the narrative was that Tyson Fury would be able to beat every heavyweight who fought before him because of his size and his agility. Now, I've always stated that I never ever believed that. I was never the one to believe that. Did Tyson Fury improve after the Cunningham fight? In my opinion, just a tad bit. Keep in mind, after Vladimir Klitschko, he fought absolutely no one. No one, no great, no Hall of Famer. So I can't sit here and say that Tyson Fury would be able to beat past heavyweights because of his size, because the undersized cruiserweight, who was a heavyweight, who isn't known for having punching power, put Tyson Fury on his back. Now, Tyson Fury did come back and win, as he was supposed to. He was fighting a smaller fighter. Then he fights Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, probably the hardest puncher in today's heavyweights. I don't think he's the hardest puncher ever to step in the ring. But I think he's the hardest hitter in this heavyweight era. Him beating Wilder twice out of 3 fights, I thought Fury won the first fight as well, but that's whatever. Now, he beat Wilder. If you take out Vladimir Klitschko out of his resume, Wilder is his greatest achievement. That is his best win. And that really doesn't say much, because Wilder himself has a weak resume. He only has a right hand. He is getting away with the victories that he had in knockouts because he had a select opponents made to order, PBC fighters, PBC rankings just for Wilder. He fought guys, many of these guys, who've been knocked out before, some of them more than once, some of them more than 2 times, some of them more than 5 times. So that doesn't say much. And if boxing has evolved, and if boxing is now at the height, at its absolute peak, then you're telling me, and remember, the heavyweight is the creme de la creme. They are the upper echelon of the sport. That's why heavyweights aren't put in the pound for pound list. Now, I think they should be, but they're not. And the reason why they're not is because no other weight class can beat any of those guys. No bantamweight is going to be the heavyweight. No strawweight is going to be the heavyweight. No lightweight is going to be the heavyweight. It's not going to happen. This isn't the days of great fighters like Sam Langford anymore. We don't have Sam Langfords anymore. We don't have those guys anymore. So no one's going to beat Wilder and Tyson Fury. Hypothetically, they are the top. And if that's the case, is Wilder not one of the most limited fighters to ever step in the ring? Bad footwork, not great head movement, can't fight on the inside, has a bad jab, doesn't really throw combination punches. All he does is shoot a straight right hand. And he can get away with that because the heavyweight division sucks. It sucks. So, to get back to Fury. Fury is supposed to be the guy that could beat everyone. He would be, the narrative is that he could beat every heavyweight before him. And when he fought an MMA fighter who's never had a professional boxing background, who has never ever faced the heavyweight champion of the world. Let me say that again. Ngannou is in the ring in a 10-round fight, fighting the heavyweight world champion. And they went 10 rounds, and Ngannou arguably beat him with limited boxing skills, didn't know how to set up any punches, no head movement, proper head movement. He didn't know how to didn't know where to place foot placement. He didn't have a proper heavyweight jab. Didn't know how to do anything that a professional level boxer can do. Indongo can't do any of that. And the only thing that he could be taught for defense was have his high guard. And when there's clinch, use your wrestling skills. Tyson Fury is fighting someone that's 275 pounds full of muscle. And I'm sorry. And I have to, if you're a Fury fan, if you love Fury, it is what it is. I'm not personally talking about you. But Fury destroyed the integrity of boxing and he embarrassed boxing. Because if you would have put any top heavyweight who cared for the sport, who has integrity for the sport, they would have taken Indongo out. Jared Anderson would have tried to take Indongo out. Andy Ruiz would have tried to take Indongo out. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder would have tried to take Indongo out. That's not what we saw in Fury. And Fury showed me that he isn't this great, big, gigantic heavyweight that we all thought he was. Because I remember watching the, what's the guy's name? Adewale fight? I remember watching that. And Fury got beat down in that fight. Shout out to Valiant Thor. Yeah, he's tough. You can't coach being tough. That's right. Indongo is a tough guy. So you kids can't tell me that Fury is just this ultimate heavyweight that could beat everyone, because you went in there in a 10-round fight and couldn't even beat a guy who didn't even have the basic boxing fundamentals. And he beat you, and he not only did he beat you, he put you on your back. So I don't want to hear this. He's too big for Rocky Marciano, Cleveland Williams, Sonny Liston. He's too big for Ken Norton, Joe Frazier. He's too big for what's the guy with the ultimate chin from Canada? I forgot his name. Ernie, all these other guys. Ernie Shavers, Mike Weaver, Larry Holmes, Tim Witherspoon, all these good heavyweights from back in the days. Don't sit there and tell me that Tyson Fury could just beat all these guys. That whole thing is null and void now, because he went 10 rounds with a guy who had absolutely no boxing skills, fundamental boxing skills for a professional level. Period. Any infused turkey to see this one with raw. Hey, that sounds good, Valiant Thor. Happy Thanksgiving, man. I got the wifey in there cooking. I don't cook Thanksgiving food. I cook everything else, but I don't cook Thanksgiving food, no, man. Yeah. I think Benividez is gonna win. I'm gonna talk about that fight too. I'm almost done with this Thor. I almost said Thor. Almost done with this Fury thing. So that's all that is. You could throw all of that out the window. I don't want to hear this, that he's too big for Mike Tyson. He's too big for Larry Holmes. I don't want to hear that, because, I mean, technically, if he did fight in the 60s and 70s, right, there wasn't no hormones in the food, right? They wasn't pumping food with steroids, right? They didn't have certain supplements to help you get bigger. He probably wouldn't even be as big as he is right now. And that is the honest truth. So I don't want to hear all of that. I'm a fitness person. I watch fitness. I'm into fitness. I'm into the how the anatomy works. I follow how food works and how food back in the days worked. Tyson Fury wouldn't be as big as he is if he fought back in the days. It's just the facts. They wasn't pumping food with certain hormones. They wasn't genetically modifying food. Okay? You have a blessed day too, Valiant Thor. They wasn't having they didn't have any of that in the foods. So I don't want to sit there. I want you to tell me that Tyson Fury would just be too big for everybody, because he wouldn't. He would have had a hard time with Liston. He would have had a hard time with George Foreman. And I'm naming big guys now. George Foreman, Mike Weaver. You know what I'm saying? Big heavyweights. Tim Witherspoon, Razor Ruddock. These guys are big. Lennox Lewis. These guys are big heavyweights. You know what I mean? So I don't want to sit there. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that. He lost to a guy who's never had a professional boxing fight. You're the heavyweight world champion. A guy who doesn't have any basic fundamental boxing skills. And you lost to him. End of that. Tyson Fury, I don't know who's gonna win out of you and Usyk. I think the fight is still 50-50. Usyk is slowing down, contrary to what many of you guys believe. I know that Usyk beat AJ in the first fight. Second fight, a little bit competitive, a little bit more competitive. And Usyk won. But those two fights, you're taking a lot of punches, big blows from a big heavyweight. And you could tell in the Dubois fight, in my opinion, the two fights with AJ took a big toll on Usyk's body. So to me, it's a 50-50 fight. I'm still edging Usyk to win on points, but hey, we'll see. Now, I want to talk about this Benividez and Andrade fight, and I'm just going to make this quick. I think Andrade is going to get beat. I think Andrade is 36 years old now. He hasn't fought anyone, in my opinion, that is top level. He talks a good game. I think he was talented 10 years ago. But if you go back and watch his fights, like the fight with Monterosen, that he arguably lost, I don't see that much of an improvement from when he fought at 154 to him fighting at 168. That's just my opinion. I think Benividez is at the top of his game right now. I think Benividez is confident. Now, I do believe that Benividez should not be fighting at 168. This is why I'm an advocate for bringing back same-day weigh-in. He weighs in at 168. He comes in the fight almost at cruiserweight. I don't like that. Benividez is a weight bully. He's going to be bigger than Andrade. Andrade is a big guy. Andrade has speed, but he's not that fast at 168. He doesn't have the power at 168, but he has enough speed to be faster than a lot of the other guys at 168. Now, is Andrade a better boxer than Billy Joe Saunders? Is he a better boxer, fights off the back foot, than Caleb Plant? I don't know. Those two guys fought better competition than Andrade. So I don't know if Andrade is a better boxer than these guys, and that remains to be seen. If he beats Benividez, then he proved everybody that he is, in fact, a very good boxer to stop the onslaught of someone like Benividez, who's going to come in there and who's going to pressure him and is going to come at him and bring the fight to him. So it's an intriguing fight. I just think, in my opinion, I think Benividez is just going to be too big, too strong. The pressure is going to take it to him. The weight, he's going to come at him. He's going to wait. The weight is going to take a toll on Andrade, and I think he's going to beat him. Salute to my boy, the Jedi. Everybody, please subscribe to my bro, the Jedi. Salute. And I just think that Andrade is going to win that fight. Now, let's talk about, and this is a two-part, because I'm going to get on the IBF and the WBC. Now, I'm going to mix it in with this convo. We have Jermall Charlo fighting Jose Benavidez, David Benavidez's brother. And now, for one, he's been inactive. And he's also fighting a natural welterweight who only had one fight at junior welterweight, super welterweight, which is 154, junior middleweight, against Danny Garcia, and he lost to Danny Garcia. Now, Jose Benavidez is fighting Charlo. And get this, Jedi, get this. They're fighting at a catch weight of 163, 10-round fight. Charlo's belts aren't even on the line. You cannot tell me that these boxing sanctions aren't biased. This guy's been inactive, and now he's coming back to a fight that is at a catch weight 3 pounds above the weight class that Charlo fights in, fighting a smaller guy, and the belts aren't on the line, and you're not going to strip this guy. You didn't strip this guy, but you strip Crawford. IBF strips Crawford, and I know I'm what you call this WBC, but I'm talking about this. Crawford gets stripped after being a champion for only 3 months. 3 months, and you strip him. This guy's been inactive for almost 2 years, and he's coming back to fight a natural welterweight who got shot in the leg, who had one fight at 154 versus a natural 140-pound fighter in Danny Garcia. And you can't strip, you won't strip this guy. WBC won't strip this guy. Yeah, that's right, Jedi. What the fudge? That's right. What the F? They're not going to strip him, but they strip Crawford. And let's just keep it a buck. Because you PBC fans, there's no transparency with you guys, right? You guys know that Crawford isn't a PBC fighter. He signed a fight deal, but he's not technically a PBC fighter. So you guys strip him. But Charlo is a PBC fighter. So you guys don't strip him because you guys need that champion. Just like you have Boots talking about come get your belt back. Boots, you are out of pocket because you are now the Amazon champion because they went and delivered the belt to you. And you talking about he should fight you. Nah. You're not getting the easy payday out of Crawford. You go make your own legacy and you fight these younger guys that's coming up. Let's see if you can beat those guys first before you go against the two-time undisputed, two-weight class undisputed champion in Crawford. I don't want to hear it. That's why boxing has become a big joke. The YTBC is a joke. A lot of these YouTube channels is a joke. I was just asked recently by a good friend on here if I wanted to join their panel to talk boxing. And I politely said no, because I just don't want to talk boxing with other people anymore. Unless it's like my bro, the Jedi, or hardline boxing, blood boxing. But I'm not talking to everyone else. I don't have time to get on panels and talk to everyone else. Now, I might jump on maybe Haplo type. That's my bro. I might jump on, Brian Harkins, guys like that. But I'm only speaking to the people that I know that's keeping it boxing. And I'm not saying that the guy who reached out to me don't speak boxing, because they keep it boxing. But I just don't want to entertain other channels. I don't. Not right now. So the IBF strips Crawford. He's champion for 3 months. You strip him. But the WBC allows Charlo to be inactive. And then you're fighting a smaller guy at a catch weight. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. And I'm challenging all you other channels out there, all you PBC fanboys, to call out the BS. But you won't, because it fits your narrative. That's why you're never going to call it out, because it fits your narrative. You guys love the fact that PBC is doing this nonsense. You guys love remember when you guys was criticizing, who were you guys calling the email champ? Was it Loma? I think it was Loma. Wasn't Loma granted some belt? I can't remember. But when you guys calling Loma the email champion, or was it Haney? I can't remember. But you guys not calling Boots the email champion. You guys not calling Boots the UPS champion, are you? Because UPS went and delivered first class. to Boots. And now he the IBF champion, and you're around here running his mouth like he beat somebody to become the champion. He didn't beat nobody to become the champion. That's why boxing is a joke. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's a quick video. Everybody enjoy your turkey. If you're a vegan, enjoy your little vegan noodles. All right? Peace.